And will you find time to meet the outstanding new leader of the opposition, Joel SSENYONYI, who is a brave young politician who deserves our support?
Yes, a few days back, the UK Parliament insinuated or showed signals that it is aiming at meeting the new leader of opposition, Joel SSENYONYI. We all know that the international community is now interested in our politics because of having an authoritarian leadership, which is now coming to 40 years. For very many years, previous leaders of opposition like Kizza Besigye did so much, but we always used to miss one thing: putting the international community on board. And one of the greatest achievements of Bobi Wine is interesting the international countries in the Ugandan politics, because there is no liberation that has ever been successful without international powers, since they whip a lot of power and global politics. So in this episode, I've come to talk about why the UK Parliament wants to meet Joel SSENYONYI. What is the difference of Joel SSENYONYI's leadership and that of Mathias Mpuuga? What signal it sends to the dictator Yoweri Kaguta Museveni? But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagali. There is a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. So, as Ugandans, we all know that we are under an authoritarian rule, which is now coming to 40 years. And it pains me that when this regime was coming into power, it promised fundamental change. Among the things this regime promised was a free and fair election, stop human rights abuses.
The National Resistance Movement is a nationalist organization. It is a nationalist in the sense that it is fighting for the aims of the whole country, and not for aims of a section of the country. Secondly, the National Resistance Movement is a democratic movement. It's a movement which is fighting for democracy.
But it has succeeded in doing this. In fact, it has done even more than the previous government. The UK government is the one who slapped sanctions on the Speaker of Parliament. And ladies and gentlemen, 2 days back, it is even insinuated on meeting the new leader of opposition, Joel SSENYONYI. Before I discuss this, let me first play you the tape when this was happening. Here's the tape.
But one thing that could make a really big difference to this appalling situation would be a change in regime and free and fair elections. He will have noted that the European Parliament concluded that the last elections were neither free nor fair, and in fact were violent. And what more can we do to ensure there is this multi-party democracy? And will you find time to meet the outstanding new leader of the opposition, Joel SSENYONYI, who is a brave young politician who deserves our support?
That is the UK Parliament. One of the most Solomonic judgment Bobi Wine made was to reshuffle Mpuuga. At first, even me, I was hesitant because I saw Mpuuga as the ideal candidate to be in this position. That is why sometimes when your leader makes a judgment, it may not be by mistake, because leaders in most cases are chosen by God. But after reshuffling Mpuuga, we saw a paradigm shift of the real opposition in Parliament, because now even activism is coming out in Parliament. Mpuuga was somehow a good diplomat who had a history with the Speaker of Parliament. That's why he even fell in the mistake of the 500 million. He was so comfortable to an extent that even the walkouts of Parliament were as a result of the pressure from outside. And that is not the same as Joel SSENYONYI. Truth be said, Joel SSENYONYI is now an epitome of opposition politics in Parliament. We all see what is transpiring. Even most of the scandals which were unearthed, it was because of the change of leadership. Trust you me, if indeed Mpuuga was still the leader of opposition, maybe we wouldn't get to know about these scandals. That's the truth. That's why even those who have been the beacon of opposition in parliament, the likes of Ssemujjunganda, Abdul Kantuntu and others, were compromised because one, the Speaker of Parliament was their former member, so they had a working. Even when Ssemujjunganda is supposed to take a full throttle, he steps back because of that relationship. So Joel SSENYONYI brought a new hope in parliament. It is not as business as usual. Okay, and also I expect that whenever they are going to meet the new leader of opposition, Joel SSENYONYI, they will be even meeting Bobi Wine, because on several occasions Bobi Wine has been seen talking to the different parliament, including the European Union Parliament. I think it is the first opposition leader in East Africa to address the European Union Parliament. Okay, so the fruits of going outside, the fruits of foreign trips are starting to hang over. And I keep on telling people on my channel that in very many of the dictators around the world who reach 30 years and above in power, they start to get backlashes. We are going to see more and more sanctions biting. Okay? We are going to see more and more international or foreign powers coming out and to guide the way how politics must move in the country. We all remember when Gaddafi was removed out of power, it was 40 years. Although I think it was wrong, but it is a lesson to all dictators around the world that if you fail your country in matters of democracy, you invite even foreign powers. So, however much you don't like foreign powers, but they are being invited because of the bad leadership in the country. And to me, I also think because of the foreign powers exerting pressure on Uganda, we are starting to see a seemingly reduced pressure of the police. That's why sometimes the opposition is not tear gassed as they used to do. Even now, even when NUP came out to register their people, we are seeing decimal interruption with the police. It is because of these sanctions. It's because of the pressure being inserted on by the foreign powers. So foreign powers have a lot of what they should play in the way of how African politics must transit. Either way, foreign powers, most especially those world powers, have a lot of influence on the way how politics is done in the country. Okay, sometimes they bring good, like in this case, I was happy that Speaker of Parliament was sanctioned. Even UPDF officers like Kandiwa and others were sanctioned because some of them perpetuate corruption, some of them perpetuate torture. Okay, and I also think more sanctions are going to bite. We are in the era, the bad thing we refuse to learn. You all remember when Omar Bashir was sanctioned, even an arrest warrant was put on his head. So that is soon going to happen, because General Kaguta Museveni is determined to do a succession, not transition, to do a succession to his son Moses Kainerugaba, who is inept in matters of politics and public administration. Okay? So, the gesture of the UK Parliament calling the leader of opposition must not be taken in isolation. It's because of the politics which is played by Bobi Wine. Of course, that's my opinion. Drop me a comment. Do drop me your comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening. If this is your first time on this YouTube channel, I implore you to subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.
MUSEVENI.